shocker spoiler.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Big spoiler at
Big
the
spoiler
end.
there.
That was like a big part of this
Big part
book.
of it. Hey, all you boozy bookers. Welcome back to Random Musings with Jess. In this novella, I'm joined by my fellow booker, Corey, and we are actually going through our first ever ARC read. You heard it right, our first ever ARC read. And we are so honored to have read Burn by Andrea Dean. So we're going to kick it off with just a little background on it. So in Burn, you have dark academia. You've got monster hunters. Dual POVs, point of views, rune magic, myths and folklore, and all of everything in between. And for me, this was a young fantasy read, so there's no spice rating. It's nothing like that. It's really just a really fun dive into Sunlark College and the occult studies program, where you follow Nora Albright and Aster, her partner, who is also a half demon, and they are teamed up to go through this program where they actually go behind secret doors and track down the world's monsters to keep all of us safe. Along the way, there's this competition against other students. There's this secret mystery of what's going on in and outside of the doors. And overall, I think it's just a really fun vibe read. If you're looking for something that's a little bit different than the mainstream books, Monster Hunters is where it's at. I really did dig and enjoy that kind of background of it.
I did too.
For me, with it being a young adult read and a little bit different, my overall star rating for the book is 4 out of 5 stars. I think it's really good. I think there was parts I was craving, maybe a little bit more background on how they became partners and things like that. And you want a little bit more of like the world building. I got a lot of it. I have the setting, but it's not a very long time frame over the length of the book. It's really maybe like a semester. Would that kind of be the equivalent?
Yeah, probably, I would say that.
Yeah, there's a couple flashbacks to like mentions of when they first became partners and things like that. But the true story of timeline of the book follows about the first semester. So I'm going to kick it over to Corey to get her initial thoughts.
So I feel exactly the same as you. I gave it a 4. It's really like a unique take. It's a fun take. You don't read very many things about like monster hunting and their partners and half demon, but like all in the same dark academia vibe. I did enjoy it. The only thing I would say is that I do want more of like how they met. And you get a flashback of how they became partners, but I really wanted something else, a little more. Maybe it could have even started, for me, it could have started with them becoming becoming partners, and then flashing forward to where this book started. I just wanted a little more. I asked Jessica, I was like, oh, is this a second book? Because when I first started, I kind of wanted that beginning. But once you read more, I see where she was going with it. Yeah. There's just, initially, I was slightly lost. But I'm kind of like that with all books, so it's not really a her thing. It's just towards the end, when this book finished, I was devastated. Yes. I want more. I want to see where it's going. And it is the first book. I don't know how many total there's going to be, but I do know that there is a sequel. It'll be out in a year or so, I think. That's too long. I know it is too long. It does it on a good cliffhanger. And really, if you're a supernatural chick and you love like the monsters and the myths and the folklores and things like that, this is the book for you. It's got them all. And what I really liked was the ties into what we commonly think of the stereotypes, but it puts them into this world. Yes. And you see it from different angles, right? In different vibes throughout it. So I really did like that. But I agree with Corey that you feel like you're jumping into the middle of somebody's story. Yeah. Like, let's say you're going around a party and you happen to catch a conversation midstream. That's kind of how you feel like when you come into this book, is that you've come into somebody's conversation midstream. Yes. You start right in the middle of like a hunt for them. And it took me a second to grasp that this was their job almost. Yeah. Because for a moment, I was thinking they were just doing like a school project, almost like Monsters, Inc. when they do like AR thing to try to scare an automated doll. Like, that's what I was like, okay, are these ghost projections? When they're trying to, because they keep talking about points. Yep. So I was like, okay, is this they're trying to get top of their class, which they are, but not in the way I initially thought when we jump into this book.
Yeah. And I should say, if you are interested in reading this book, there are spoilers in this conversation.
Oh, yeah.
So pause here, go read the book, and then come back for more conversation with us. But yeah, that's what I think is so unique about this program is like, how cool would it be to go to college and fight monsters and get graded on it? Like, my projects in college were not like this. My papers in college were not this exciting.
No.
I would have loved to talk about vampires and golems and different things like that. And for it to be a competition, listen, I'm a Capricorn. I'm all about competition. Like, pit me against whatever. I'm going to come out on top.
Yes.
And I really did enjoy that aspect. The dynamic, I really will say the relationships in this book, I loved because you saw why people were partnered with each other, but you also saw how the different teams interacted with each other. And it was very unique to me in this setting. So I want to kick it off with talking a little bit about the characters. So the main female character is Nora Albright, and she is an orphan, and she's an orphan because her parents are like founding members of this like monster hunting, right? They're the legacy name in the business, and she lost her parents behind one of these secret doors. So she's grown up with this intense pressure of I'm an Albright, and like these are big shoes to fill. But with that, she kind of gets this I don't know, it's like it's not pressure from the other students, but like they automatically judge her, right? They think everything's handed to her. Oh, you're an Albright. You didn't have to work. Yeah, you didn't have to work for this like I had to work for it. Everything's kind of handed to you. And that couldn't be farther from the truth for me, for Nora. I feel like she works so hard at what she does because internally she never feel like she's enough.
Yes. There was something about her as a character that she's missing something for me to make me completely love her, which she could come into that in the next few books. It could just be that, like, that's the first book. You're just starting to know her. But something I did love about her is that she worked so hard and she tried to, like, not prove her name, but she didn't let her family name hold her back.
Yeah, I think for me, she has been holding herself back in terms of not having the confidence in herself. Because so her partner is Aster, and he is a half demon, which is a whole unique twist in and of itself, right?
Loved it.
Because they're hunting demons, right?
Yes.
And
that was amazing.
He may actually be in my top 10 book boyfriend list.
Oh my God,
I love him.
Me too.
I absolutely love him.
Especially at the end.
Yes. Yes. So, but this is the thing, is like you have this legacy family person, this half demon, and how do they become partners? And essentially, suppose nobody else wanted to be their partners, right? She saw in him what she wanted for a partner, and she approached him. Like he's a half demon. Fire is one of his elements. He can set himself on fire and produce fire. And he's out in this middle of this football field, or the equivalent of setting himself on fire. And she goes, "There's my partner." That's it. But that's all we get in the background of how they became partners.
That's why we want so much more about that.
That's why we want some more, because there is that dynamic there. There's that playful energy there. I don't know if it'll ever develop into a full relationship thing, but I think he has a lot of feelings towards her.
Yes.
He has a very much touch her and die.
Yes, he does.
And even before he was full demon, shocker, spoiler.
Oh, yeah. Big spoiler at the end.
Big spoiler there.
That was like a big part of this book.
Big part of it. But he has this touch her and die on both sides of him. And I think Nora is just so focused on finding her own voice. But Aster is one of the ones that pushes her to that, like, have confidence in yourself. We're not the top team just because of me, because you wouldn't earn full points if it was one person carrying the full load. And I do think that was an interesting dynamic on there. But I think that's what's missing for her. For her is
confidence.
Is the confidence. She's got to get there because she's so easily influenced. Professor Hawthorne.
Yes.
She runs into Jude Olsen. So there's another character. He's at kind of like the rival college of the same
Moondark.
Sundark and Moondark, I think is what it is, right? And so it's
instead of partners, they do single.
They go out alone. But Hay kind of like pushes her. They both push her, Hawthorne and Jude, to like do more into the runes and the circles, which has a draining element to it. And Aster's the only one on the other end going, "Hey, watch yourself. Like, don't forget about yourself." And so I think that's the element. I think she has been easily influenced up until this point. And I think towards the end of this book, she's truly found her voice. And that goes for him as well. So Aster's
yeah.
the half demon. We don't really know much about family background because
No,
he's kind of orphaned as well.
Yeah, I really hope we find out more about his parents in the second book.
So he's essentially rescued by Miss Taylor, who works at the college. He's identified young as having these special abilities, being different, and she kind of takes him in. So he's grown up at the college, but he's always been that outcast because he is the half demon. And a lot of the start of the book is him battling the demon side of himself, because it's like it's more than just an internal voice inside of him.
It's like compulsion.
It's a thing trying to escape. And Nora is the first person who truly works with him to try and tame it, because it sets off the fire. It sets off the fire within him, and he doesn't want to be put down, essentially, because there was somebody before like him. And when she became too much, they basically had to execute her. And that's the last thing that either of them want. But for me, Aster kind of comes away. He's the one where everything's kind of easy to him. He's a quick learner. He can hear like really far away. It's creepy how far he can hear. He's super smart, super intelligent. And so he kind of like just sits back and takes things in. But his biggest struggle is with that demon side.
Yeah.
And
it's terrifying to him to let go.
It is. It's terrifying to him to let go until, spoiler alert, when it does happen. So there is an element where Professor Hawthorne, who used to go to their college, he left to be a professor at the rival school. He comes back, and secretly this whole time he's been trying to trap Aster because he wants to take him over. He wants to rule over him. So he actually uses Nora in her room magic to trap him and try and bring the full demon out of Aster to be able to control him. And I think that that's a really unique take on this whole story, because you don't see that coming. Like, you know something's there. Like, I got the ick vibes from Hawthorne the whole time. I didn't really trust the Jude guy, because it's like, how random is it in the middle of a cave
by itself, just practicing?
Yeah, he's practicing magic in a random cave on an assignment.
He shows up suspiciously.
Yeah, he's suspiciously there.
Same with Hawthorne.
Yes, along with Hawthorne, it's just so weird that, he's a new student here, or new teacher here, and the only student he's fascinated with is Nora, or that he talks to is Nora.
Yeah.
Like, that's red flag to me. But when the whole scene plays out and Aster does become full human, it's not in the way that we think of, like, we've lost him. Like, there's a moment everybody's worried, right? That's what's happened.
He's
but
gone.
The truth is that he had to become full human to have the level of control that he needed.
Yes.
And again, to me, that's having confidence in your voice. And I think that Hez and Nora's paths are kind of mirror each other. That's kind of how I took it.
I did too, that he had to become a full demon for him to, be able to control himself, to have the confidence in himself, to feel at ease.
Yeah.
And I love the whole becoming a full demon thing. That was such a turn of events, and that was amazing for him to walk out. And now he's just at ease, and that he's actually bound. So the whole thing is Hawthorne wanted to control the demon. So if you bound the demon yourself and you brought it forward, then you control him.
Yeah.
Well, it turns out like Hawthorne couldn't do it himself, so Nora had to do the rune circle. And now Aster is bound to Nora.
Yeah.
And I love that part of it.
Yeah.
There's like a micro trope of that.
Yeah.
Because he's already touch her and die. And now he's full demon, bound to her.
Yes.
I'm obsessed with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm totally ready for the second book. Like, this is definitely a series I will continue to read.
Yes.
And I definitely want to see how that develops and really see how Nora keeps going from here, because I think the world is a lot more open to her now. I think before she had this tunnel vision of like, this is how the world is. It's this and it's black and white, and I almost think she's seeing in full color now. I don't have any other way to describe it, but that's how I kind of took it with everything that happened with her. And we talked about relationships a little bit ago, but there's a lot of other students there and a lot of other dynamics. And one of the other student pairs is Sean and Mira.
Oh, I love them.
They are amazing. And they are kind of like the
opposite, but the exact same as Nora and Aster.
Sort of a foil to them, because Sean is one of the ones who absolutely can't stand Nora, right? He thinks that she's had the silver spoon. She's never had to work for anything. He's had to work so hard to be in this program. So he really gave it to Nora. And the only reason he stopped is because Aster basically threatened him and, put him in his place. But Mira, his partner, was formerly possessed, correct?
Yeah.
And is kind of ghost-like. Like, she has this very cooling, calm presence, doesn't talk.
Nope.
At all. She does, we find out she does have powers because there is an assignment that the four of them have to go on together to battle this golem. And it takes all four of them to take it down. So it's one of those where you have to learn to work together.
And they do. And they kind of, after that, are like rivals, but friends.
Yeah.
Before they were rivals.
Yeah.
But now they're kind of like friend rivals. And I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
They understand each other now.
Yeah. And I think that there's more towards, I don't think Hawthorne was really acting alone. I think there is probably a driving force behind him, that like
at the other school,
a secret society or something, that may come into play. So I definitely think in book 2 we'll see more of Jean and Mira working with Nora and Aster, and kind of just this dynamic that's moving forward. And I'm here for it, and I can't wait to see what happens in the next book.
I'm so excited
because again, Jude Olsen escaped.
Oh, I forgot about that.
And I don't think Aster's going to let him get away unscathed. Not for his part in all of this. So I think there's going to be a hunt for Jude. We also don't know why. So he was only helping Hawthorne because Hawthorne said he was helping him with a family problem.
Yeah, he had something. So I wonder if, I was thinking Jude may have a redemption arc. Yeah. Because maybe he like truly does. I was thinking in this book that obviously Jude is going to like Nora. And I thought it was going to turn into like a love triangle. Yeah. And that's really going to push Aster to become like a jealous possessive.
Yes.
And in this school, partners are not allowed to be romantically together. Yes. They will be split up. That's a rule. Yeah. Her parents were partners, but they didn't get together until after they graduated. Yeah. So there's something holding them back, clearly. Yeah. So I would love it if we slowly got a slow burn and yearning in the next few books until they graduated, and then they...
Yeah, I don't know what the equivalent is. This book says that it's year 1. I don't know if it's 3 year, 4 year. I don't know the breakdown. But there is that unique twist in that dynamic, because even with everything that's going on, Nora does not want to stop being Aster's partner. No. Even though he's full demon, he doesn't want to stop being her partner. I think that they are partners for life in this, or till one of them passes. But yeah, I'm definitely excited for book 2 on this one. And I want to talk about, did you have any fun quotes that you liked? Because I am a sucker for book dedications. If you remember my very first novella, I did it all on book dedications. And I want to say that this one, chef's kiss. I loved it. I was very excited when I saw it. So this book dedication goes with, our story starts and ends in fire. This is our first year. It totally sets the tone.
It does.
For the whole book. And that's what I love about book dedications and why I never skip them. So again, just bringing up my fun take on the book dedication. I will try and find some of the quotes that I liked as well.
I thought I highlighted stuff, but I did not. I'm actually very upset with myself. No, I put on here, what? When it says that power, they can't resist the lure of power. How Hawthorne kind of controlled Aster to get him. He kind of like drew into his demon side and released his power for the half demon to follow into like the trap, or else Aster would have never done it.
Yeah. So there was a couple. So Aster said Nora was drawn to power, not just the desire to possess it, but some unconscious need to surround herself with it. And that's why she was drawn to Aster. That's why she's drawn to Hawthorne and Jude. And I think that was a unique take on how her dynamic with those relationships were, because you don't really realize that association is there. And then another one is, monsters are mirrors and mirrors do not lie.
Oh yeah, I like that one. I remember that one a lot.
Yeah, that's definitely one of my favorites.
I like that a lot. Oh
yeah, you live every day fighting yourself and no one even sees it, and all I've ever wanted for you is for you to stop having to fight, to be able to thrive, just to be. And that was Nora to him, I believe. Yeah. And he said it stirred something in his chest just to be like that entire time leading up to everything. That's all Aster wanted it was a constant battle. He would get up and like Forrest Gump it every day and run and run and run. And because that was the only way he could distract himself from the demon side of him wanting to take over.
Which is so exhausted.
Crazy. Yeah. It was a constant exhaustion. He never really slept. I don't think. It was just a constant battle to keep that demon side at bay.
And it was so nice to see, like, you physically reading the book could feel the peace that happens with Aster when he becomes full demon.
Yeah.
It's a great book.
Yeah. There's clarity. There's okay, now this is how I can move on. This is how I can thrive. And I think that's the difference. So I'm very excited.
Yeah. I liked it a lot.
I do too.
I do. Yeah.
4 stars for me. And like I said, it's really only because I craved more. I did. I craved more, and at first I didn't realize when I was reading through that there would be other books. So I'm very excited that there are other books. But this was fun. This was like I said, my first ARC read. It was really fun to be a part of that. So I'm very thankful to have been able to have this and be able to read
picked.
it. Yeah,
it was. It was, and the author seems so nice.
Yes,
she sent out an email. Yeah, you know, because there was a delay in getting the book, and it's just. That's such a good book.
Yeah. You can tell, I'm sure every author is passionate about what they do and what they write, but some authors really, truly go that extra mile and they're like, this has probably been a passion project for a while, or this is like something that I enjoy. And I think the supernatural and the myths and the folklore are kind of her jam, and that's my jam. And I'm like, I've been reading so many different other types of genre. It's like, this was so refreshing to jump into this world, and I dove in head first. So I'm really excited for the next book, and I think it's called Repent. Let me double check that because I want to make sure I get it right.
I love the way that she did the monsters and the demons and stuff, because they're like folklore correct.
Yes,
you know, that's what vampires. They're quick. They're trying to suck your blood. You know, there's the golems, giant. You know, he's hard to take down. Like classic monsters, and just classically what you know of them is how she portrays them, and it's really nice.
Yeah. So the sequel to Burn will be Repent, and it'll be out in 2027. So we're so excited. Yeah,
I am excited.
Thank you for joining our mini novella today. Of course, it's always fun for Jess's musings. Take care, and happy pages and libations. Bye.
Bye.